Welcome to the French Wedding Podcast with your host Naïm, the only podcast in English about weddings in France. Great conversations, tips and insights about your French wedding, some wisdom before your big day, and the opportunity to hear wedding professionals actually living and working in France, only for your day to be the most amazing to remember.
Hello everyone and welcome to the French Wedding Podcast. Greetings from France. This is the place where we're recording this show. I'm Naïm, professional ceremony officiant based in my hometown, Paris, and I created this show especially for future brides and grooms willing to get married in Paris or anywhere in France. Each episode is an occasion to meet a main actor of the industry, can be a vendor such as a wedding planner, hair and makeup artists, bridal salon, videographer, venue owner, bloggers, you name it. This show exists to bring you some insight about how people do things in France regarding the wedding industry, but we also share funny stories, things to know, and special memories when we happen to work together on the very same wedding. Originally from the Ardennes in France, he moved to Paris in 1989 for a new beginning. He designed his first wedding dress at school in 1991, where he graduated with honors. This led him straight into some of the best names in the fashion industry, and then he decided to create his own brand in 2008. Today you can see his design being worn by singers, first ladies, and on red carpets all around the world. So please welcome to the show, Christophe Alexandre Docquin. Christophe Alexandre, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Naïm.
I'd like to start first by saying thank you so much for being here. It's been a long time I wanted to do this podcast with you. We started doing a collaboration together, and the idea of coming up to the show popped up. So I'm really happy that you accepted my invitation.
Thank you. I'm very happy too.
I want to start as well by you telling me a bit more about you and your story. How did it started?
I started making dress when I was 5 years old because I always made dress in my life, in fact. And after I made studies for learning everything, I started to make dress for clients. And after a bit moment, I made my first wedding dress. It was in 1991. And I was really fall in love with wedding dress. So after I decided to do more and more wedding dress, and now I made nearly only wedding dress. So I work with some atelier to emphasize my technical knowledge. And when I think I was ready, I start my own brand.
So you knew you wanted to be a wedding dress designer or a fashion designer from a very young age.
Yes. I really want to be a wedding dress designer from nearly a long time I could remember.
That's very nice to know that young that you want to have this path. I think it's very lucky.
Yeah, I think I'm lucky to find really young what I want to do, and I feel I'm really happy to what I want to do is wedding dress because it's a cool job. I could bring my own part to a very special day in the life of somebody. So I think it's a bit romantic, but it's cool. I like romantic.
Very romantic. You're from the Ardennes, which is a French region. You came up to Paris?
Yes, I came to Paris at 16 years, when I was 16, for my studies.
Okay, what type of studies was it exactly?
For beginning, I made ready-to-wear studies to have a bachelor, and after I made stylism and haute couture superior degree. Okay. And after I work several years in the atelier from big house couture like Sonia Rykiel or Christian Lacroix to emphasize my knowledge.
Sonia Rykiel and Christian Lacroix, who are amazingly famous brands all around the world, and you've been lucky enough to work with them. That's amazing.
Yes. Yes, it was a real chance for me.
Real change and real challenge, I guess. Can you take me through the very delicate process of choosing a wedding dress? Where does it start? We need to know that.
Yeah, it's a really a special process because a wedding dress is not just a white dress. In fact, because most of women are dreaming about their wedding dress a long time before meet their future husband. In fact, a little girl, a young girl, is still dreaming about the wedding dress. It's really a piece of an imagination that is probably the most important dress in the life of a woman. So a lot of the most part of which made the decision. It's not a factual thing, but it's more about dreaming thing and what all your life you imagine you will look like in a wedding dress. So for beginning, we speak about the wedding, about the husband, about we look the body, of course, of the bride, and we try to understand where is exactly the part of magical, the part of dream she has inside, in his mind and in her body, and we try to do this one match with the girl which is today.
Okay, so you have a first meeting with the bride. If she's abroad, usually what do you do? Phone call or Skype?
Generally, if she's in Paris, I prefer to see her. Of course, we have a brief speak by mail or phone. If she's in Paris, I prefer to see her directly at my showroom, my atelier showroom. Or if she's not, we could speak or by phone or by Zoom, because for me it's important to see someone. So if we could have a video exchange is better. Of course, the best is to see in real at my atelier showroom.
So the bride to be is coming to your place, and you have a talk, and you decide together. You already propose some ideas, some models.
At first, I listen, and after we get a glance on my collection. We speak about fabrics. We speak about the cut, the line of the dress. We speak about a lot of details, more than one dress or one dress, because with all details we will create the good dress. And after, if we could, we do a fitting with the dress of my collection, as the bride to be could imagine how she's feeling in the dress. But after we will design. I will design with this envy the dress, because I don't want really to do twice the same dress. So all my collection is here to help to create the good dress. But my idea, my envy is to do one dress for one girl each time, not twice or several the same dress. I don't like it.
Right. You want it to be unique for only for one wedding, for
a
one
unique
woman.
Dress for a unique girl for a unique day.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're listening. I like this. You're listening a lot, so you get to know the needs and the vision of the bride to be, and then you do a fitting, and then what's going on? For example,
we try to hear the feeling. All the things she couldn't really explain, but you could see on his face, on his body. she's very well inside, she moves well, or she's not very okay with that. Yes, comfortable.
I think it all comes to a big skill and talent to describe and to put into reality some words and feelings. How do you do that?
Perhaps I don't know really, or I do, but we could say I do. I do it for several years, and probably experience, and time after time, I try to improve myself each time. So
That's
I
amazing.
try to put in every dress all my knowledge and all my humility to be at the service of the dream of the bride to be.
Beautiful words. And I have a question regarding destination weddings, because our audience is listening to this show and most of them are abroad and they're looking to get married in Paris or in France. So what's the process for this type of weddings?
In fact, I'm really, I used to do that because nearly more than a quarter of the bride-to-be who ask me her dress doesn't live in Paris. I work with a lot of expatriés or a lot of strangers who come for a wedding in Paris. So we are with the atelier really well organized for that. So we speak about the dress by phone or by Zoom or WhatsApp. And we need to come perhaps twice, one at the beginning of the dress and stay 3 days in Paris. And after, even if she doesn't come back until 10 days before the wedding, with the atelier, we are really used to do that. So we organize everything. So when she comes, all the atelier work only for her, even if we have not a lot of time. And as I work a lot of time like this, we are very organized and take measurement and so on. And sometimes, for example, sometimes if the bride couldn't come until 10 days before the wedding, we send the dress she like, one or two or three dresses. We send them the dress, dresses, and she try, and we ask what type of pics we want with the dress, what type of measurement we want, and so on. And after she send her back all these details, and we could work like this. And for example, for with my brand Docquin Paris, we have other sale points out of Paris, and we used to work only with distance like this. So we have created a method special which works very well, I guess.
Perfect. So you have a great process in place already for destination weddings, for every details to send the dresses.
We used to do destination dressing from 10 years, 12 years ago.
Perfect. So that's a long experience and
and why to be like this, because she could be stressful for her, and after she understand we used to do that, so she's very quiet with this idea.
Very good. And I'm curious, what's the time frame for a bride to decide, to order, and to receive the dress?
We try to do our most possible to do not put more stress to the bride to be. So we try to be the most I don't know how to say in English, flexible.
Yeah.
But of course, we have some obligation with fabrics and some delays for dentelle for embroideries. Generally, we ask to start the dress 6 or 8 months before the wedding.
Okay.
And the dress, we do the planning each time with the bride. Generally, the dress is closed 1 month before the wedding. But it's easy for French people because French people organize their wedding nearly 1 year or 1.5 years before the wedding. But for foreigners, most of country organize their wedding in only 6 months or 4 months. So we try to be a lot of source of idea proposition who could work with the planning anywhere towards the planning. We try to always find good solution.
Great.
We are really flexible with that. Of course, when we have 6 or 8 months, we are really happy. And when it's not possible, or for example, when we have a pregnant bride, we couldn't start the dress 6 months before. We have to wait. But we are organized with that.
Oh, this kind of thing happens, yeah?
Sorry. Yes, it's happened, not regularly, but it's happened. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. Good.
Yeah. But sometimes you start to organize your wedding when you're before and the big news arrive in time. Sometimes you just learn you're pregnant and you absolutely want to be married before the wedding, or just we try to be always good and flexible.
Nice. And you're working as well hand to hand with the wedding planners and all the other wedding vendors. Of
course, we work with wedding planner a lot of time. For us, it's really interesting because wedding planner, I've seen the couple, I've seen the bride, and spoke with her, and she can bring us a lot of detail about the personality and the style of the wedding, and it's a good thing for me.
Yeah, it's always better to cooperate between professionals to share all the information and make the best possible quality service.
Yes.
I have one more thing for you. For the guys listening to this episode, if they're still here with us, how much should a groom to be involved in the choice of the dress without failing the tradition of, not seeing your spouse before the wedding?
I'm not sure to really have understand the question. Generally, we don't see any man in the fitting
at all.
Sometimes, it's your question.
Yeah.
Generally, we never see the groom.
So, like the brides, they're choosing on their own, kind of. They have their vision.
So bride choose alone or with a mother and sister and friends, but not a man.
Never any groom.
It's not never. It's nearly never.
Right.
Sometimes it's arrived. We see the father of the groom, but it's really an exception.
Okay.
It's perhaps because tradition, especially in France, but in a lot of countries like this, sometimes they choose together. Foreigner a lot more than French, and in French it's impossible. And sometimes with Chinese people, we see the couple, or American, we could see the people, or Russian, we see the people, but most of the time we don't see. Yes, it's really an exception.
All right. And yeah, I was going through your last collection the other day, which is available on your website. And I
Mm-hmm.
was looking at all the names of all the models of your, all the
Yes.
pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all names of cities, villages, sometimes places, and names,
Yes.
famous names. Is there any story behind it, or is it just inspiration? Tell me a bit more about it.
Mm, yes. It's always a name of a place. Um, Generally, no, it's a lot of place in Paris
Hmm.
because I have the chance to live in Paris, and Paris it's a city of the couture and of the love. So most of the ways has the name of a street in Paris. I like this. And
Hmm.
for the other one, generally, when I have the idea of the dress, when I am thinking to someone who could wear this dress, or sometimes it's the technical ID, or fabric ID,
Hmm.
and I'm looking for the city where this fabric is origin is come from.
Okay. Oh,
So
that's the story
I
behind
try
it.
to find an ID between the dress and the name, but I choose for director line uh, to all the dress has the name of the place. Yeah, I like
Very
it. I
nice.
like because I like place. I like uh, to make uh, voyage or something like this.
I've found it very very original. That's why I wanted to ask you
Thank
and
you.
get to know the idea behind the creator. I was sure it
Yes.
was a nice story. And do you have any plans for the next year to come? Any new projects, new ideas that you want to share with us?
Mm. Yes, I have always a lot of plans, or too much plans. I don't know, but yes, I open in nearly a week my new atelier showroom, which will be Rue Blanche in the 19.
Right.
Uh, we will we will move next week, and we will open for public um, beginning of September. So it's actually my big project because
Perfect.
it spent a lot of my time. And which one project we have? Actually, we have a trunk show in Dubai too, and we
Oh
try
yeah.
to plan a trunk show in Hong Kong, uh, probably beginning of 21.
Wow.
And here is the most, and I have a more haute couture collection. I work with about this actually, and we will make some photo next month, I guess. Yeah, here is the
Wow.
most project I have.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Especially in these times. That's yeah, running around the world between Dubai, Hong Kong, and opening a new showroom. Is it gonna be bigger, your showroom?
Mm, it's gonna be
Because I know the other one. That's why.
uh, a, a good mix of bigger and intimate. We have a good place for atelier, a good place for fitting. It's not too much too much big or too bigger
Hmm.
because I don't like it. I prefer intimate thing, and uh, I would like a new place which could be intimate and which I could have a good feeling with where to be, and the atelier should be really near. So it's not really big, but uh, it's at least it's just a good place, just a good side, I think.
Very good.
Mhm.
I wish you a lot of luck for the opening. I will see you before
Thank
for
you.
sure. And before we finish with the episode, would you like to offer something today for our listeners?
Yes. For the listener who come, we could offer a veil. Could be perfect match with the dress. So it could be a good present for your listener. Yeah.
So you can find the website on Docquin.com. That will be in the show notes. And thank you very much, Christophe Alexandre, for being part of the show today.
Thank you, Naim. It was a pleasure to speak with you today.
Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey guys, thanks again for listening to the show today. You can find more information on our guests in the show notes, as well as my contact and my website. If you have any questions regarding your French wedding, I'm happy to help. Also, please do not hesitate to leave a review for the show. There's also a link for that. That will literally take 1 minute of your precious time and will mean the world to me. I always appreciate your support. Thank you again very much for your time and feedback. Wishing you a great day or a great night anywhere you are in the world. I send you some good vibrations and we'll talk to you again soon for a new episode. Bye bye.